What is going on, all of you bounty hunters and high-intensity racers out there in the world? I am Agam, so thank you for checking out this YouTube video, whether you are a new or returning viewer. Appreciate you stopping by here, and today I know I missed the exact year mark. It's been a little over a year as of this recording and this upload. However, I did want to look back at F-Zero 99 and kind of the impact it's had, because it's been a little over a year. I believe it launched in September of 2023, if I remember correctly, and I remember playing it when it first came out. I'll be honest, I fell off of it a little bit. I have not played it in several months, but they've had a lot of content updates since that initial launch, and I kind of wanted to take a look through again, see what's new, what they have to offer, and also just kind of reflect on the franchise as a whole and maybe what we could see for the future. So let's jump into it really quick. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but I really enjoyed this, right? The idea of taking the original Super Nintendo game. Yeah, look at all these tracks. Some of these, I guess, are from like the Satellaview F-Zero version. Definitely correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that, but I believe a lot of these are from that, and maybe even some of the GBA ones. So they've added new tracks, which is great to see. There was a content update shortly after launch that I did check out, but look at that, emotes. 1 year anniversary, there we go. But going back to my original point, the original F-Zero on Super Nintendo, I don't love. It's a similar situation to me with like Super Mario Kart on the original Super Nintendo, where it's fun. I don't know. It's arcadey fun, but I can't play for that long. What is going on with these menu selections? Are they like corrupted for some reason? That's weird. Must be some kind of event. But the idea of making it a competitive 99-player game is honestly super duper cool. Like, I absolutely love that. Because you're taking the original game and just giving it a new fresh coat of paint. This really is a new game though. This is completely different than the original game, right? This is a new F-Zero game here. I'll do the Wild Goose. I like the name and the machine itself. I'm not great at this game. I'm not the best at competitive games, but I enjoy it quite a bit. I want to do whatever that one is that I never checked out. What is that? Is that just random, maybe? There's a lot of new stuff here. I haven't played this game in a while, like I said, but well, we're doing it. It's just the idea of taking that core Super Nintendo game that's very arcadey and still like fun for me at least, maybe like 10 minutes, and adding a multiplayer online aspect to it. This was great. How do I do emotes? Oh, I see. Show me your moves. That's new. I did not. Last time I played, that was not in here. So it's really cool to see. So I personally enjoy that aspect of it, and I hope this. I mean, it seems like this breathes some new life into into F-Zero, because I mean, this was the last. This is technically a new game. This was the first new game since F-Zero GX on the GameCube, if you can believe that. I mean, and there have been interviews with like Miyamoto and others who have been like, well, you know, we don't want to do another F-Zero unless there's some like new gimmick, almost, is kind of what they said. What is boost again? Is that Y button? No. Okay, it's B, there we go. I'm trying to remember these controls. I'm gonna probably lose, but that's okay. I haven't played in so long. I'm not good at this, just to clarify. But like, for the longest time, they were like, we don't want to release a new F-Zero game unless there's something super unique about it. And like, I get that on one hand, but on the other hand, it's like, even just adding online like this game did, like, is enough to make it stand out, because, you know, back with GX, you know, they didn't have online in that game. They could re-release a remaster of that game on the current Switch, or maybe the successor to the Switch, you know, and like, people would buy that. Like, even just having online would be awesome. You know what I mean? And like, the new features they added here were enough to make this stand out, right? It is the Super Nintendo game at its very basic core, but you add in online, you add in the ability like to do certain stuff like little flips, the boost meter, the exploding cars on the track. Like, they added some cool stuff to this version of the game that makes it stand out, and I think this makes it a better version of the Super Nintendo game, but its own an own game in its own right. You know, we had seen 99-player games before with Tetris, Super Mario 35, rest in peace to that. They had the Pac-Man one, and then they did this, and like, to be honest, I think this is the best idea for a 99-player game they had yet, right? Because F-Zero in its nature is already a competitive game. So just make it so that there's 98 other players that you play along with. It's awesome. It's honestly really, really cool. And it's just great to see them give this franchise another chance. You know what I mean? This could be a branching off point. To me, this means that Nintendo still has F-Zero in mind, and they're remembering it and keeping it in mind. Sorry, I'm also paying attention to the race here. You know what I mean? It's because it's like F-Zero is still to this day such a unique racing game. It's still very arcadey at its roots. Personally, I prefer those style of racing games, right? Rather than the realistic simulator races. I think there is totally a point in time and place to this day for F-Zero, right? I think it still works. To me, I still think this was a test to see if F-Zero could still do well in today's day and age. And I mean, at least when it launched, it was doing great. I mean, the fact that the lobby filled up immediately was great. Yeah, let me continue on to the next race. I'll take it. Take what I can get. But just like adding the competitive online elements to this game made it really feel unique. And in my opinion, it is far and away the best 90, I guess I call it 99 players, although this is Mario 35. Although I've heard Tetris 99 is great. Okay, so that was only a single race. Gotcha. Yeah, I probably don't want to do a Grand Prix because that would just take too long for this video. But just all the different aspects they have here, being able to customize your vehicle in limited quantities, to be fair, but you can unlock all sorts of decals, inversions, the boosts, the spin. Oh, the spins. That was not customizable the last time I was here, so that's cool they added new features like that. Now, granted, I don't think they're going to update this game too much more. I feel like, besides Tetris 99, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I feel like this is the 99-player game they've updated the most out of all of them. I feel like Mario 35 was only for the anniversary, which was a crime, because that game could have been really cool if they added more levels and features. Pac-Man 99, I feel like, was also very short-lived, and I know Tetris 99, they keep updating that. That's still going on. It's still popular, but they've updated quite a bit here. I don't know how long they're going to go with updating this game. I would love if they brought this over to the Switch successor and added maybe completely new courses and stuff, because I don't know if this game has any. From what I can understand, not really, but yeah, just having all the customization options. I'm not huge into, like, for example, these pilot cards, but it's cool that they're there. The emotes are fun. You know what I mean? Those are just great, so being able to customize those. Oh, reactions, too. See, that's super cool. Like, this fits F-Zero so well to have this online competitive aspect, and I think this was a really smart move. Let me do another race. That Nintendo did to implement this in this way, and I hope this has a future bearing on the rest of the series, because, like, I'll do the Fire Stingray, because I would love to see smaller, lesser known series like this exist, right? Currently, Captain Falcon is still known as the Smash Brothers guy, right? He is still, to this day, for most video game players, the Super Smash Brothers character that does the Falcon Punch, right? A lot of people don't know his origins, being an F-Zero, and I would love to see Nintendo give this more of a chance. I mean, all right, there we go. Oh, I think they filled the rest with bots. All right, I suppose that wasn't too many. So I'm sure it's not as popular as it was over a year ago when it launched. I know it was popular when it first launched. Let's use Darude Sandstorm. You know, but like, it's still, there is a fan base for that. And I think in today's day and age, it could be super unique. I mean, we've had games like, I hear Wipeout, similar to F-Zero. That's a Sony property. I hear that's pretty good. There was Fast Racing Neo on the Wii U and Fast RMX on the Switch. Those kind of filled a little bit of an F-Zero gap. But now we have F-Zero here. There were rumors about F-Zero GX getting a remaster, an HD remaster with online. That'd be great. Even if they just did that, I think that would be fantastic, right? Like, have it as, like, the next step to test F-Zero's viability, right? Because I guess besides the Nintendo Land game on the Wii U, we really didn't have any F-Zero content since before this game, since F-Zero GX. So I don't know. Personally, I'd love to see them take a chance more with a series like this. It was really cool. This was such a cool announcement to see, because F-Zero fans, I think at that point, have pretty much given up hope of really anything happening, you know? Now there are rumors about a potential remaster of F-Zero GX, but, like, you know, at the time, there's really not much to go off of. So this coming out of nowhere and being like, hey, it's technically a new F-Zero game, like, that's fantastic, you know? That's awesome to see. So, you know, this was them taking a chance on it with a formula that works well for the core gameplay of it. Do I wish it was something like an F-Zero X or GX? I mean, yeah, like, I prefer those graphics to this, but, like, this version also totally works. Ooh, I'll take it. You know, this version totally works. Like, basing it off the Super Nintendo one, it's probably the most recognizable. Uh-oh, there's a storm. It's probably the most recognizable out of all the F-Zero, like, aesthetics here is the original Super Nintendo one. And I think it works, you know, in terms of the customization and everything. I still think there is content they could maybe carry over from X and GX and, like, turn into, like, a 16-bit style and put it in this game. I think that's totally viable. How am I in third? That's crazy. Uh-oh. Now I gotta pay attention. No, no. It's so intense, but I love this game. Like I said, I am not good at competitive games. I'm probably gonna die. Gotta hang in there. I am not good at competitive games necessarily. This is one I can like somewhat compete in. I'm still not great at it, but I can somewhat compete in this game. Oh, I just hope I survive, man. I'm just gonna prioritize surviving here. You know, it's cool to see Nintendo take a chance on a series like this when we don't see this very often, right? I hope this isn't just a one-off thing. I'm worried knowing Nintendo it is. Oh, that was a bad idea. I'm probably gonna die. All right, that's it. That's it, Chief. Oh, no. Go! All right. That was a little brutal. I really hope this isn't just a one-off, right? It totally could be, because it's Nintendo, and we could totally see that being the case. I'll take top 10. I'll take that. Hell yeah. Defeated all 4 rivals. It's like there's so many cool mechanics in here. Imagine like a new fully 3D F-Zero game. Add some new gimmicks. I don't know. I've heard the idea tossed around. I completely forget who mentioned it, but I think it'd be so funny. I don't know if F-Zero fans would like it, but like combine core racing F-Zero with like his Smash Brothers moveset, where like I want to say maybe it was Good Vibes Gaming. Who mentioned it? I apologize. I forget who said it. I can't take credit for this idea. But like imagine getting out of your car and like standing on top of your car in the middle of a race. I don't know how it would control. And like beating people up. I think that'd be so funny. Nintendo's not gonna do that, but I think it'd be fantastic. But just like, ooh, there we go, cool. I think there is a place for F-Zero in Nintendo's modern lineup. I think it's, you know, a smaller AA budget game, you know, especially, I mean, in this form, this was like the perfect test, right? We've had a few 99 games, release it in that format, see how popular it ends up being. And I think it was decently popular. I don't think it quite has reached the heights of Tetris 99, but besides that, I want to say maybe not even as much as Mario 35, but this is definitely a lot more long-lasting. But I think it's a great test, you know, and I'm glad to see Nintendo test the waters with series like these. I just hope it has some bearing on the future, you know, for the hardcore fans and for new people to check out F-Zero, because besides Mario Kart, Nintendo doesn't really have any racers, and like this is different than Mario Kart, right? This is way more competitive. Not that Mario Kart can't be competitive, but Mario Kart definitely is more of a party game, whereas this is more of a hardcore, intense racer. So it's more niche than something like Mario Kart, but I still think there is a spot in the market for it. You know, what would they do for the next thing? I mean, probably a GX remaster with online. I mean, that would be great. But in terms of a new game, I mean, Nintendo always said they didn't make a new one because they weren't sure of like what new feature they would add. They could totally come up with something. If they actually sat down and focused on it just a little bit, they could totally come up with some unique gimmick. Maybe it's a new mechanic for racers that we've never seen before, you know? But I think Nintendo could totally be up to the task for that. And I hope they do, right? Getting more series like this, bringing back Star Fox or Kid Icarus, you know, getting more, or when they did Advance Wars World 2 Reboot, getting more older franchises to get a shot every once in a while, I think is great. It's good for their business because it's different from just their core stuff. And I don't know. I hope this leads to more stuff in the future. This is a great game on its own right, and I think, you know, I hope it keeps getting supported. I don't know if it will, but it's been a fun ride regardless. So that's kind of my wrap-up of a reflection on F-Zero 99 in terms of its features. Really fun game, really fun online competitive game. Haven't stuck with it too much because I feel like the updates haven't been super frequent, but it's still really fun to go back to and play every once in a while, you know? I hope this has bearing on the future, so we will see in the future if, you know, we have more F-Zero games. But with that, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of F-Zero 99? Have you played it since it came out a little over a year ago? What do you like, what do you don't like? And what do you think is going to happen for the future of F-Zero? Does F-Zero have a future in Nintendo's catalog? But with that, thank you again for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video or live stream. Until then, take care. Show me your moves.